morning and hello to all subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe and do the right thing. Hit the notification bell. This morning I am moderating a panel discussion at a launch for Nedbank. It'll be at their head offices in Sandton, which is perfect because it's literally 2 seconds from work. So my morning started very early. I was up at 4, in makeup at 5:30, and it's almost 7, so we can beat Sandton traffic and be there by 8. So yeah, it is not a normal weekday morning. It's sometimes what are you doing? Sometimes these things happen. As you can see, I'm in Nedbank green, and this is the vibe. So the dress code is corporate. I've got like a jacket / blazer just in case. I don't know what's happening with the weather, so it's always good to have a backup. And then I'm gonna get into slinky sand. My toes happen to be green, just by the way, as well. I'm not saying I planned this, but the universe aligned. So let us go have a good day. And I had to charge my son's iPad. I can't say the full word because he'll ask for it. I had to charge it, and now it's mine for the day. So yeah, let's go do this.
The Executive for Financial Wellness and Advisory at Nedbank Retail and Business Banking, to share with us some of the highlights from this NedFinHealth Monitor.
Awesome. Good morning. All protocol observed, because I see my boss has done it for me. What a wonderful opportunity. What a pleasure for me to really get an opportunity to unpack what does it mean when we use the words financial health. Let's just start there. What does it mean? And for us at Nedbank, not just what does it mean, what can a South African consumer take from that to give them a sense of how they can improve what we are calling financial health. We've been on an awesome journey. So for me to stand in front of you and share what this report is talking about, it's an absolute pleasure. So let's start with definitions, because definitions matter. We know that financial well-being, financial health, financial wellness, financial security has been buzzwords for quite some time. So different organizations call this idea of managing your money well quite differently. As Nedbank, we deliberately chose financial health. Why? Because we believe that for many consumers, it is important to give them something they connect with on a day-to-day basis. When you say wellness, it's kind of out there. Probably wellness, a big word, it's not tangible. For us, when we say financial health, we're talking about your spending. We're talking about your saving. We're talking about your borrowing. We're talking about your planning. And then we pause there. And then we say exactly as Lizzie has said, this is the same as your blood pressure, your cholesterol level, your BMI, right? Something that you can easily connect with. So it was important for us to look for a partner that has the same thinking around the idea of financial health. So we found the Financial Health Network in the US, and it was so important for us to bring not only an easy to understand idea of tracking your finances, we needed the academic rigor. So what I will share with you today, not only is it easy, is it intuitive, and you can already get a sense of how am I doing on my borrowing? And you think of actions, how am I doing on my spending? That was key for us. Academic rigor, our partner, the Financial Health Network, absolutely in partnership with several US universities, has spent years really making sure when we talk about these 4 pillars, we indeed are measuring generally what is happening with someone's finances. So I want to introduce you to the numbers. The numbers matter. But over and above the numbers, I want you to realize, as voices of 1,503 South Africans, our sample is representative of working South Africans. So yes, we have collapsed their voices into numbers, but I will highlight you. What is it that they're saying to us? And of course, it's always easy and perhaps tempting. When we talk about South Africans, you know that kind of thing when we ask, who's a bad driver? You look to your left, you look to your right. You are saying, it's not me. The same happens when we talk about South Africans. They're like, oh, they're out there. No, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about you in the audience here and you online. As we unpack this, I want you to think about your financial health. You are representative of working South Africans, and we've unpacked your financial health. What did we find overall? A score of 53. We all know 100 is kind of easy to understand, and so 53 score on average is kind of saying, you know, we're just making it. If you think about writing an exam, you get 53. You know, it reminds me when I was studying actuarial science at VETS in 1994, way back. You would say, hey, Wafowethu, if 50 pumile. Simply say, I'm so happy, I just managed to get a 50. So 53 tells us South Africans are just saying, they are just doing okay. It is hard for them. In the context of COVID, the context of interest rates, we had it already from Lizzie. So 53 out of 100, right? If you want to get a sense of a global comparison, quite a different market, just to give you a number, for the US, this number is 65 for 2022.
What could you maybe share you've observed with regards to us as the consumers, that relationship between credit and spending? Because I sometimes feel like people think when the bank says, you know, we're giving you credit of 100,000, it means you must go use it all. Like go use 100,000.
Thanks, Rabulile, for a brilliant question. First and foremost, let me just say a sterling job to Nedbank, Madam Mohale, Dr. Max, a brilliant work that you have done. I really appreciate that. It's scary. It's scary just to see that so many people are battling. And you see, over-indebtedness affects many of us as South Africans. But you see, this behavior of over-indulging on credit is there specifically because of something is lacking on our education system. Many of us who went to school, we learned about numbers, but unfortunately, we did not learn how to add. We were only taught how to subtract. What I'm trying to say is, many of us are taught that when you have 100 rand, you spend 50 rand, you are left with 50 rand. Very few people are taught to say, when you have 100 rand, focus on adding. And that leads to addiction to debts. Many South Africans get addicted to debt, as the doctor has just mentioned, that retail therapy, it leads to addiction to debt. More and more people are buying, forgetting that tomorrow you'll be over-indebted. And once you're over-indebted, hell break loose. And I like what Dr. Max said. He said, behind these numbers are human beings. And that's a sad reality. Just to know that these are not just numbers, but human beings. And unfortunately, over-indebtedness has got this negative impact. There are many people who even go to an extent of taking their own lives because they are over-indebted. So it's about time that we turn the direction. Financial education must go deep down into the schools, into the kindergarten, so that more and more of children who are graduating from primary to secondary already know something about budgeting. And the question is, what is a budget? It is unfortunate that many people focus on budget as spending, paying. Now, budget, it's critically important. With a budget, you must focus not only on paying, but also saving. Because many of us, when we receive money, we find ways and means of spending it there and there. We don't focus on how do I budget first. How do I save? Pay yourself by budgeting. When you save, you are paying yourself. And that's the missing thing. That we are more focused on spending, paying our debts, forgetting that we must save. And that's critically important, that we should balance, because a budget must just be a plane that has got two wings: savings and also paying bills or expenditures. Thanks.
Okay, here is another one that's asking, how safe is it to have a retirement annuity in place, considering that its value can plummet at any time? Most retirement annuities do not come with guaranteed value at the end of the product lifetime, maturity, if you will. Also, in most RA statements, we only get to see growth, changes, and interest projections, but there's no clear view on value at risk projections, breaking down some of the inevitable economic changes that might affect your RA value. Dr. Megs.
Yeah, that's quite a technical one. So,
Yeah.
But again, if we just look at our data, I am quite impressed that we've got a number of RA questions coming up, because our data shows that I think less than a third of South Africans have, RAs. So it's good that we have in the audience that's coming through. So for me, the way I think about RAs, it's really this idea that, I guess we spoke about joking earlier, right? That this getting old just kind of, just arrives unannounced. And so, an RA, it's not a day-to-day, month-to-month investment to check in and you want to know the ups and downs. It really is a tool that's got fantastic tax benefits, and it's meant for when you are retiring. So if you are young, right, there is no reason why you shouldn't be stomaching the ups and downs. Why shouldn't you have them? So in fact, I often say, I grew up in the world of red hanger cell. Who remembers the red hanger cell? Yes. Edgar's, they hear from Mapudi. Edgar's red hanger cell. So when your RA, the value, as the question is coming through, it's up and down and it's fluctuating. For me, when it's low, it's a sale in the stock market. Go and buy more. What does that mean for? Put more money in your RA. Because you're young, you can afford the volatility that comes with it. So one of the mistakes is you watch it quarter by quarter when you're 24, when you're 38. I mean, you still have a long, runway to retirement. So please make sure age-appropriate concerns about ups and downs of money in an RA. If you're 50, 55 years, you're getting close to retirement, it's an issue. But generally for younger people, put it in the bottom drawer. You shouldn't really be worried about ups. We know generally share prices go up, and that's how wealth is created.
But I think just from a non-financial expert perspective, without looking at the technicalities, the way I reason it with myself is, was I going to actually save this money and not touch it on my own?
Yeah.
And all that RA system provides is, it forces me to put the money away and not touch it until, 30 or so years' time.
Absolutely.
So for me, even if you lose, don't act like you were going to put that money away and you understand what I'm saying? I used to have a friend who'd say to me, RAs are so useless, you earn more by putting in your credit card. What are the chances that that money is going to stay in your credit card
Absolutely.
and earn that interest? So we also have to look at our behavior, because the 32-day notice, you'll wait that month to take that money, but an RA forces you. There will be serious penalties and serious exceptions for you to withdraw from the RA. It has been quite an illuminating session today, and I'm sure that everyone has taken some insights away with them, some tangible tips. So we're all done with the launch. I've just moderated my panel. My gosh, facilitated my panel. The language has gone out my head because I was running late for a meeting, and I think it went quite well. I think if anything, it just reminds us, guys, we're all struggling in this economy. There's always something new we can learn when it comes to financial education and seeing what your financial wellness report or health says. So it's driving me to do that exercise. And it's not the first time I do anything with Nedbank. I've done Twitter Spaces with them, with Dr. Mags. I've had him on 702 for series, and he's so fantastic with explaining things so beautifully. So yeah, the day's only just beginning. Let's go work at radio.